Hello and welcome to the Polish Foodies. These are my kids and today we want to teach you how to make St. Martin's croissants, Rogale Świętomarcińskie that are typically eaten in Poland on November 11th, which is also Poland Independence Day. So Rogale Świętomarcińskie are very time consuming. It takes a lot of time to make them, but they are worth it. They are so delicious. So we started making the dough and the filling yesterday. So right now, let's go back to yesterday to show you how this dough was made. To make this flaky pastry, we will need 4 cups of all-purpose flour, which is like 18 ounces, 500 grams, 1 cup of warm milk, 2 egg yolks, and we will need egg whites for later because we will add it to the poppy seed filling. We also need 2.5 tablespoons of powdered sugar, which is 40 grams, and butter, either warm butter or melted butter. It cannot be cold. So we need about 4 tablespoons of butter, which is like 50 grams. And also yeast. I use instant yeast. It's about 1.5 tablespoons of that. And this is all we need for the dough. This dough is very time consuming, so the flaky pastry will take about 2.5 hours to prepare, and after that it will be ready to make Rogale Świętomarcińskie. So the process will go like that. We will first knead the dough for about 10 minutes. Everything without the butter. Then we will add butter and knead for another 5 minutes. After the dough is ready, we will wait for about 45 minutes for it to grow. And after that, we will roll it out, add more butter, because it's not here, because it's already in the freezer. We will grate the butter on the dough and fold it. And put it in the fridge for half an hour, then take it back on the flat surface, lower it out, then again we will fold it, and the dough needs to be folded like that 3 times. And that's it. We will leave it in the fridge overnight, and I will come back to you tomorrow to show you how to make Rogale Świętomarcińskie. So right now we will knead the dough. I will use my food processor for that. You can also do it using your hand, but it's very time consuming. Remember that the yeast dough needs some time to be made. So I think I told you everything. Maybe about the flaky pastry, it's very specific because it's similar to puff pastry, but still it's different. It's like the combination of yeast dough and puff pastry. It's very specific, but you need to make it to make perfect Rogale Świętomarcińskie. Of course, you can use ready to use puff pastry. You can also make yeast dough. However, it's not the same. This is the original recipe. So let's start making our dough. All-purpose flour, powdered sugar, 2 egg yolks, instant yeast, and finally milk. We will knead the dough for 10 minutes. 5 minutes later, we are adding soft butter and we knead again for 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, my dough has grown a lot, and right now I will just transfer it on my working surface, and I will incorporate some butter into the dough. So there are two ways that you can do it. You can either spread soft butter on the dough, or you can use cold butter or even frozen butter. And I went for the second option. So I put the butter into the freezer at the beginning of making this dough, so it was like 1.5 hours before. So it's good to have some flour ready to put in here, and also a sharp knife or a grater that I will grate the butter, and plastic wrap to put your dough when it's ready. So I will start with grating the butter in the beginning. Alright, so I have my butter ready. So you can again either use soft butter and simply spread the butter on your dough, or just like me, grate it or even cut using your knife. It doesn't really matter. You just need to incorporate the butter into the dough. So as I said before, you will place the dough in the fridge 3 times in total. However, butter is added only at the first step, so right now. After that we won't need to do it, so it will be easier after that. So when you roll out the dough, you need to place the butter on more than a half of your dough. 1/3 should be without butter and 3/3 should be with butter. So simply put it on your dough, and now we need to fold this dough. So fold it once, press gently, and one more time, and just rotate the dough and roll it out. And right now we will fold it again into 3 parts. And the dough like that should be placed in the fridge for 30 minutes. We simply wrap it in plastic. You don't have to press too tightly. And to the fridge for 30 minutes. Now let's talk about the filling. So whenever you are watching this, the full measurements are below, either with a link or there is a printable recipe below. So the filling for Rogale Świętomarcińskie is made of white poppy seed. It's not easily available even in Poland, so I bought it online. However, if you don't have white poppy seed, you may replace it with standard poppy seed. That's not a problem. I've already cooked the poppy seed and I've also grind it, because you need to do it ideally 3 times. So I've already did it yesterday because it's so time consuming. You also need almonds for that and walnuts. So I have the mixture of almond and walnuts in here. I have honey, sugar, raisins that are already soaked in hot water. However, you may use rum or any other liquor to soak the raisins. Also butter and orange and lemon. I will start with grating the skin because this is all we need, the orange and lemon peel. Be sure to de-wax it first. So I've already done it. And we will fry it all together. And the filling we will wait in the fridge for tomorrow. Start with melting the butter. Now add almonds and walnuts. Add sugar and honey. Add orange and lemon peel. Add raisins and finally the poppy seed. And now, after the filling was fried for about 5-10 minutes, you need to add 2 whole eggs. And also we'll add egg whites that we have left from the dough. So in order to make the filling fluffy and also to make sure that it will stick to the dough when baking, we will beat egg whites with a pinch of salt and add it to the filling, and that's it. Tomorrow we can make our Rogale Świętomarcińskie using this filling. So now let's beat our egg whites. They are perfectly beaten, and how do you know? When you turn upside down they won't fall down. So right now just add them to the filling, mix carefully, and that's it for the filling. Half an hour later, my dough was in the fridge, and right now I'm just unpacking it. Put some flour and roll it again. And fold it the second time, and again put it in the fridge for another half an hour. And the final rolling and unfolding. I'm so happy because I want to go to sleep. So one last time. And tomorrow morning we will make Rogale Świętomarcińskie together. My kids can't wait, and today in the meantime, in the breaks when the dough was in the fridge, I was putting them to sleep, and they said, "Mommy, the smell in the house is so nice, you smell of orange." And I think we will do it early in the morning. So final folding in the same plastic wrap, and that's it. See you tomorrow. The dough was in the fridge overnight, but I took it out about half an hour ago, and right now we need to roll it out. So it needs to be rolled out to about 14 inches wide. Doesn't really matter how long it is, but it needs to be 14 inches wide. It's 35 centimeters. So I have one more helper in here because it's a long weekend in Poland. So we are home, all of us. So according to the legends, the St. Martin's croissant appeared in the dream of a baker from Poznań, and he was dreaming about St. Martin who lost he saw him on the horse, and the horse lost his shoe. So he found this horseshoe, and that's why the idea for this horseshoe shape appeared in his head. And St. Martin's croissants were baked in Poznań since 19th century, because the priest in the parish of St. Martin asked their followers to buy some food for the poor people, and one baker thought that baking this croissant is a good idea, and since then these croissants are baked in Poznań, and also the tradition is right now all over the Poland. Alright, so our dough is ready, and right now we need to cut the triangle shape from this dough. So, so we probably will have about 14, 15, 13 Rogale Świętomarcińskie. They are very big. You can make them smaller, of course, because they are really massive. But I want to show you the original recipe. So we have 12 Rogale because my son took some filling already. So right now we are going to place the filling as much as you can on each triangle. So you need to leave a free space in here because we roll the Rogale. And right now we put this beginning of Rogale in here. Then we cut it like that. And right now I needed to remove some Rogale to fold it, and we are folding them like that. And that's it. My first Rogale is ready, and we will repeat the process with all the other croissants. I had some filling left, so I'm just making Rogale Świętomarcińskie using ready to use puff pastry. And right now we will cover our croissants for 30 minutes and let them grow. And about 30-40 minutes later we are brushing our Rogale with egg, and we will bake them for about 20 minutes. And we can bake them together in the convection option in the oven. Finally, my St. Martin's croissants are ready. It took so much time, but this is the best part. We will decorate them with sugar glaze. It's very simple. You just need powdered sugar and a few tablespoons of hot water. You just need to pour it and see whether or not the consistency is okay. And on top of my sugar glaze, I'm putting some dried fruits and nuts, anything that I had in home. It doesn't matter. I have some almond flakes, some orange peel, crushed walnuts, and I think that's it. So it's best to decorate the croissants when they are not hot anymore, because the sugar glaze will pour down the croissants, so it's definitely better when they are not hot. And when it comes to, I don't know what I wanted to say, but you can see the difference between the croissants that are made from the dough, flaked dough that we use. This is the one, and this is the one made by the puff pastry. So I think this is definitely better because the puff pastry is softer, and I tried both. This is definitely better, but if you don't want to spend your time on making this dough, rolling, putting in the fridge, you can use the puff pastry. So I'm simply taking the croissant and brush it with sugar glaze. Then dried fruits and nuts, you can press gently, and that's it. They are ready to make. So the original recipe calls for margarine. You can also put some crumbles inside, especially sponge cake crumbles, but I don't like it. And also when it comes to margarine, I don't use it, that's why I replace it with butter. And I think the taste is great. So after I decorate the croissants, I will come back to you with the final result. This is it. The entire recipe is available below. And right now my favorite part, which means trying. I will just take a bite.